To say the hand of God has been in my life from birth in my mother's womb is an understatement. When I was born, there was a hole in my heart, and they didn't expect me to live. And through prayers, it was healed, and I lived. And so, fast forward to growing up, and my father wasn't ready to be a father, and he was quickly out of the story. That led to my mom being a single mom and a rather rough childhood, but she knew that our foundation needed to be in church, and so we were there pretty often. My mom has another relationship with, and then my brother comes into the picture, and he rubs in and holds over my head how much my father didn't care for me and his father was there for him. This lie kept coming in that I wasn't wanted and I wasn't loved and I was fatherless. My mom finally met my stepdad, and he fixed everything else as far as filling in the gap of a male person in the family. He just never felt like a real father to me. I think mostly out of rebellion, because I loved my father so much that I wanted him and I couldn't have him, so nobody would fill that in. My stepdad adopts us, and this new identity came to me that now I can change my name, and I'm just in elementary school and I'm having this whole new father in my life and a new name, and I have to explain to everybody how I'm a whole new person now. I get out of the military and just start living angrily. And I lived a lot for myself and just found my identity in alcohol. Eventually I'd get married, and I still try to find my identity through alcohol, thinking that I had to be deceitful in certain ways, and it caused all these problems in my marriage. Here I am becoming the alcoholic father that I said I'd never be. One weekend, my wife and kids, they went on a vacation. This one specific time she said, "I know you go to the bar, please don't go." Which was odd to me, but I was like, okay, I won't. And I made it all the way till Sunday, and I hadn't gone. The whisper, one drink won't hurt. And so I was like, well, I'll just go for one drink. So I went. Well, I ended up drinking till I was blacked out, and got in my truck and sped down the road and ended up wrecking and put myself in a coma. And so I was in a coma for a month. All through the coma, there was moments where the doctor would ask what they wanted to do, pull the plug or keep me on life support, and my parents would say, just pull the plug. He was like, well, we'll pull it if he doesn't do this. Every time that happened, I did exactly what he said if he didn't do this. And I did do that day. And so I know that was God in all those moments, keeping me alive again. One day when an argument got too much, I finally became the abusive alcoholic father that I swore I'd never be. That next day when I was in jail, there was this odd silence. It might have been because I turned myself in at 3 p.m. and there's nobody else locked up at that time. And I just remember hearing from God just saying, come back. In that moment, in that jail cell, I said, Lord, take this away from me. I can't do it alone. And I had this feeling, this chill over my whole body. And from that day forward, I never touched alcohol again. Coming out of that, I like I said, I heard come back, and I knew as soon as the church was open, I was going back, and I went. We were singing in worship, and I was just bawling my eyes out the whole time. And at the end of it, when they call you up for prayer, I remember running up there and walk up to this one man, and I'm just like vomit everything that I've done, and I'm just crying and weeping. He prays for me, and he's just like, let me ask you this, are you going to boot camp? And I'm like, I don't know what this is. Go to boot camp and release and let go of every hurt, every emptiness, every void that I thought I had. He released me from all the bitterness and anger that I had from my brother or my biological father, the tension between me and my stepdad. it went away. I would encourage when you hear the voice, you test it against Scripture, and you hear the different voices, whether it's yours, the enemy, or God, and you test each one against Scripture, and you'll know quickly whether it's from God or a lie from the enemy, and that way you can live out the truth instead of believe the lie.